Breck Grasso, Bob Walters from the Brian Gunzel Studios. This is Locked Up Sports, game number 6 of the NLCS tonight. Brett, we're gonna have a Subway Series. We're gonna play Game 7. What are we doing here?
Bob, what if I told you in May that we'd be sitting here talking about the Mets
going
to LA for Game 6?
You definitely didn't say that.
Believe it. Or no, what if? No, what if? Would you even believe me?
Yeah, no. I was going through all the clips that I wrote, that I recorded in shows, and it's like, I'm like, this team stinks. I said the guy that threw his glove into the crowd, I was like, do you blame this guy at all?
The fact that we got to go to Game 5 and watch the Mets, win to send it back and kind of give us some hope and show that this offense is dead, their season isn't over yet. How do I feel? I feel like, the Mets are – I feel like you force Game 7, anything can happen. That's how I feel.
Well, that's what it is.
Anything
can happen.
And I feel like our ace is going up versus their bullpen tonight. And that's how I feel about it. And I feel I feel great about it. But the offense has to show up. You're not going to win a 1-0 game tonight.
No, you're not going to win a 1-0 game. And that's actually what I was saying is, like, these bullpen games, I don't know what these teams are thinking. Like, how could you, like, okay, you want to mess around in the regular season and throw a bullpen game and have it be, like, whatever. But in the postseason, Game 6, throwing a bullpen game, and I know their pitching's kind of, it's they got people hurt, and, like, from where they started in the beginning of the year, it's not the same. But to throw a bullpen game, I know they have some room to play with too. That's ballsy. I don't.
Well, this is where you would have expected, like a Clayton Kershaw to be showing up or something like that. But that's not happening this year. The thing is, this isn't a bullpen game like we saw from Game 2. That was their worst arms that they were trying to save everybody else, and that was he was just letting that game go. Whereas we're seeing their best arms out of their bullpen today. They're starting off with Kopech. We've had a hard time versus him. Everybody has. And honestly, I love it how it's matched up for us. But no matter who we're pitching against or hitting against, we got to show up. The bats got to show up.
Well,
the runners in scoring position got to show up.
I think the bats got to. Obviously, the bats have to show up, but they need like 6 or 7 innings out of Minaya, because you know what, the Mets bullpen is no good, right? You don't trust them as far as you can throw them, and if Minaya can give them 6, 7 innings, I think they might be able to get to Diaz. And I don't trust Diaz either. I think he could blow it just as easy as anybody else. But if you get to Diaz
today. What is our bullpen
it's going to be
everybody's who's coming up in the 6th or
it's going to be Stanek, right? Because it's been rotating all year as far as who's in the favor of the Mets bullpen, and right now it's Stanek. Matone stinks. Everybody else is questionable. Stanek seems to be good now. He's going to be the guy that's going to try and bridge. Hopefully, just from Minaya, Stanek, Diaz, right? That's what's got to be, because the Mets bullpen, the Mets can't hang with them with the bats. They can't. I know they got 12 runs last, but they can't. Brett, the guy next to us at the game the other day was saying we need more runs, and I was laughing because we had a 6-run lead going to the 9th inning.
I was saying the same thing.
You said the same thing.
I mean,
every time they score every inning.
A wager, but no, I totally agree. I don't. I really don't know where they're going to go after. Now, it really comes down to, like you said, Minaya getting into the 6th, hopefully the 7th inning. But if it goes into the 5th, I'm a little worried that he's going to bring Senga out. There's a good chance that Quintana comes out.
Yeah, I would rather see Quintana than. I think it's everybody but Severino, right? Because Severino's going to have to pitch Game 7. Or Quintana can pitch Game 7 too. I would rather have Quintana because Severino's all over the place too. Let's not forget that this Mets team was as inconsistent as anybody we've ever seen throughout for like 4 months of this season. They just recently got really, really good.
But if it comes up where there's a guy who's going to have to try and come in, he's going to leave Minaya obviously to get Ohtani. You have to contain these same guys. We have to pitch to Ohtani because Betts has been killing us.
Oh, Betts
is
so good.
I'm more willing to give up the solo home run than I am starting a rally with Ohtani and then Betts coming up. And then I was going to say Freddie Freeman, but he hasn't been producing, so he's not in the lineup tonight. But Max Muncy, who just can't get out.
Listen, that's the problem with the Dodgers. It's just like murderers row. It's one after another after another.
It doesn't end. And the guys you never heard of would be all-stars on any one of these mid-level markets.
The guy you never heard of hit 2 home runs the other night.
Oh, yeah, no. There's 2 different Hernandez you never heard of, both of which are killing us. So,
it's murderer's row.
We don't even know.
It's murderer's row. Now, I think, gun to my head, I said this yesterday. Gun to my head, I think the Mets lose in 7 because I think they win tonight.
15-yard flag in the NFL. Gun to your head.
It would be. I think they lose in 7 only because I think they win tonight. I think Manaea has just been too good. I think that the bullpen game, the Mets can get to their bullpen. It's so important that they start early, right? That they have to get off to a fast start. You can't get behind
Manaea being so effective and being able to handle someone like like Ohtani, and be able to handle those all-stars. Like I have total faith in that. Again, best case scenario is what? Only giving up 3 runs or 4 runs?
Well, yeah, you're not going to win 2-1. You're not going to win 2-1.
So you need to, let me tell you, there's a point where, like in every other game this series, the Mets will have the bases loaded. It's what happens there, whether or not we win this game. It's not, I mean, Manaea is going to obviously be the key to holding it within that reach, but it's going to be those 2-out base hits that, with runners in scoring position, that are going to be the difference. And we've gotten, honestly, lucky enough to get the wins that we've gotten, because outside of the game we were at, Game 5, the Mets, the Mets still left a ton of runs on base.
Listen, it's been if you're not a Mets fan or a Dodgers fan, let's be real. This has been a terrible series, right? It's terrible. There hasn't been a close game yet. It's 9-0, 8-0, 10-2, 12-3.
I can't take it. I couldn't take it anyway.
Like
that was too much.
Like the
last
series?
2 weeks.
I mean, it hasn't been a good series. It's been a terrible series. It's blowout city, but now series this.
No, but I'm saying prior to this, all the
series like this tend to now. The story hasn't been written for the series yet. That you have a classic in either game 6 or 7, right. And it writes the story for the whole series, because nobody will remember how we got here if there's a classic game tonight or a classic game tomorrow night in game 7. Either way, now. Baseball's obviously rooting for the Dodgers because they want to keep it. If it's New York, if it's Mets Yankees, we've seen it already. The ratings are not good. Nobody cares outside of New York. They want Dodgers Yankees. That's probably good. That would probably be the most competitive series, right? If you're being unbiased about it. But
no, that's exactly what's wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. It would probably, now, can the Mets beat the Yankees? And we know they can, right? Are you not even thinking about that yet?
I'm not thinking about it.
Am I way ahead of myself?
In that way, you are way ahead of yourself. Everybody's thinking about it, Bob. Nobody's talking about it. All right.
You're right. Nobody's talking about it. You're right.
And to a point they are, but it's especially the Mets aren't going to be talking about it. The Yankees can talk about it all they want. That's fun time. They can just sit around for 6 days and get as cold as they can possibly get and sit around and talk about and watch the Mets and exciting baseball games. But is it? You know what? It's we got to talk about it because it's possible.
It's possible.
That's what we've been waiting for. Am I scared of the Yankees? No, not even the least bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Am I scared of? No. Am I scared? No, I am not scared of playing.
We can't survive it. No, I still hear about it in about 2000.
I'm scared of losing to them. I am 100% scared of if the Mets blow whatever. Like, I feel like it's the only thing that could kind of tarnish this, because this is what we're going to hear now. But you have to realize we're already at that point, Bob. We're at the point of. The Mets are going to talk about this season like it's one of the most magical seasons ever. And the Yankees are going to go, oh, you mean the year we won the World Series?
I know.
That's where we're at right now if the
Mets
lose this. So, like, our history is going to look back on this is our greatest season.
It's the Andy Chavez catch, we
won the World Series.
The Andy Chavez catch, we lost. It'd be this season, the Yankees won the World Series. I can't. I don't even want to think about it.
No, right. They'd be like, I tell my son, like, the greatest season in Mets history, the Yankees were the world champions.
Yeah, exactly. So this is Locked Up Sports. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and I think Twitch, Brett. I don't know if I even have a profile on Twitch. I don't think I've ever been on Twitch, but we're live on it right now. So welcome to everybody. We're going to get to the lineups in a minute. Now, is this a big deal to you, Brett? This said right after the game, in like kind of like the celebration after Game 5, Diaz guaranteed the Mets would go and win the next 2 games. I don't think it's a big deal because he has no control over it. The papers, people haven't really picked up on it. It's not splashed all over the papers because I was saying, like, when Messier does it, he's the captain of a hockey team. He's out there all the time. When Namath does it, he's the quarterback. He controls it. Diaz might not even pitch, right? Do you care?
If he does pitch, he's probably going to blow. So that's even worse. So I don't.
Yeah, but then it gets forgotten about. Then it gets forgotten about because there's been guarantees that
No, definitely. That's the best part about guarantees. They all get forgotten about it unless you cash in on it. And if it works out, you're like, see, guarantee. You know, guarantees have been made that nobody don't know about because it didn't win. They're not as. I mean, it's not like not like Namath or not. You think people would know the Namath one?
Messier and right?
No, but if they lost, you wouldn't even know. It wouldn't be like, oh my God, remember when he guaranteed?
No, because they were 20-point underdogs. They were supposed to lose, so it wouldn't even have been a big deal. So let's get to the line.
But for Diaz, it just bothers me because he's most likely the guy who's going to blow it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have no confidence in Diaz.
So it's a setup for like...
And there's nothing we could do because he's going to be in the game. Probably he could be in the game tonight and tomorrow. And there's nothing you could do. He's coming in. No. You just got to hold your breath when he comes in.
No, in our way of combating how bad our bullpen or even Diaz in general has been is let's pitch him twice as often or as much as we normally do. Yeah, so now instead of 3 outs, right? 6 outs. No, it is. No, it is. But it's like a guarantee of in those 6 outs, runners will be put in scoring position.
Oh, yeah. For no reason. Listen, he's John Franco reincarnated. He's John Franco reincarnated. He gets the tying run on third. He walks a tightrope the whole way every time. You lose hair. You lose years off your life when he pitches. Sometimes he gets it done. Sometimes he breaks your heart. But now, why can't we have somebody like Mark Leiter Jr.? Like the Yankees, like, oh, we're gonna bring this guy onto the roster today, and he pitches like a huge inning.
We did, and it screwed us up more than anything, and no one realized it. And I tweeted about this and put up what I in like August what I thought the Mets roster were going to be, and on that Mets pitching rotation was Christian Scott. And Christian Scott would have changed this whole scenario for us. And it's not Kodai Senga. It was Christian Scott. And let me tell you, and I know you can say whatever, like, oh, yeah, he had those good starts, and then he was just kind of, more or less average. But yeah, that's what you needed. You need that. You needed the guy who could come out of wherever and pitch out of the pen, and a young arm that could pitch and eat up innings. And so it's little things that cause it. We got lucky in a lot of spots. We got guys like Iglesias, and we got other guys, but you're right. We didn't get that. Big bullpen arm. And the other reason is we didn't go for it at the deadline. We decided to hold on to every top 10 prospect and all those pitchers that went all over the place. To San Diego, they got one of the best relievers in the league. And they got him from the Marlins. We had to give up on those guys.
And who did we just say is going to pitch tonight? That we want Winker, right? We got Winker. Not Winker.
Stanek.
We got Stanek. He's a trade deadline.
He was the closer for Seattle early, so I'll give you that one. But I'm saying, like, you wanted to really go for it. The Mets. Let me tell you this: if Stearns and Cohen knew that this was going to happen where they're at right now, they would have 100% made that move.
Well, of course, nobody saw
I know, but they didn't even see this. This is beyond their wildest dreams right now. And so, honestly, it is a thing they could have done easily. We had all the ammunition to go do it. And they decided it wasn't worth it because they weren't going to get there this year. And you look back now and you go, They were available. There was some arms available. We had to pay for them, but we had the reason to do it. Now, there's some kid down there in the minors who may be the reason why we don't go to the World Series this year.
Yeah, and so now, Brett, we're an hour from first pitch. Brett, give us the lineup. Give us the Mets lineup. Give us the Dodgers lineup, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, here we go. Leading off for the Mets, the man, Francisco Lindor, playing shortstop. Brandon Nimmo, second two-hole, left field. Mark Vientos, growing up right in front of our eyes, third base. Pete Alonso batting fourth. Jesse Winker, DH, staying hot, keeping him in the lineup. Marte, another one. Oh, man, playing right field. He's batting sixth. Marte, hot as hell. Taylor, center field, defense. Hopefully the bat can come through for us. And another one who's, second start of the postseason, Jeff McNeil, off of injury. He's shown he's given a little spark to this club. And Francisco Alvarez, who broke out of his shell over in Game 5. It was great to see. It was great to be there for that. I feel like this kid drives off energy, and if anybody's going to continue that, it's going to be him. McNeil's going to give us that batting champion performance today. Marte is healthy and going to go. Winker, energy, and forget about it. That didn't even get into Alonso, Nimmo, and all the good guys, Yeah,
but Alonso was 2 for 15 coming into the game the other day before he hit the 3-run homer, and he had a couple hits. But everybody got hits. Yeah. Alvarez, listen. I think Marte is red hot. He had his best day as a Met just in Game 5. He had 4 hits, 3 of them extra base hits. I think it's going to be somebody like Marte, maybe like a Winker, or like someone you don't see coming. That's what they need to. They
have to go after those guys. Like that's the thing. If once Lindor hits. If Nimmo hits and makes good at bats, I'll give you that. Because if he starts working good at bats and Alonso's hitting, you got to pitch to Winker, Marte, and McNeil. Like, you don't have an option. And Alvarez, too. Alvarez has got to clear the lineup, and I'm sorry. You can go from an easy automatic out to a guy you're scared to face in one at bat.
Okay, maybe, but now here's the Dodgers lineup, and here's everybody is you're scared to face. They have Babe Ruth, Ohtani leading off, right? Mookie Betts would be the best player on our team, hitting second. Teoscar Hernandez, the 3-hitter. Edman, the shortstop, hitting fourth. Muncy, who's fantastic, you can't get Muncy out, hitting fifth. Kiki Hernandez, sixth. Pages, I think that's how you say it, right? Pages. I like to call him Pages.
Yeah.
Pages, who hit 2 home runs. He's a rookie, hit 2 home runs in Game 5.
And talk crap when they was down by
Smith, and then Taylor hitting ninth. So I mean, that's a lineup where like there are no holes in that lineup. It's murderer's row.
No,
it's better than the Yankees lineup. It's better,
like Kiki Hernandez. Like there's a guy who's just Babe Ruth just in the playoffs. It's just not good. You know,
I know. It's like Stanton. It's like Stanton for the Yankees. Stanton's
no,
an
it
old
isn't.
man.
But
he's an old man all
when,
year. He's an old man. He's hurt. They kill him all year, and he comes and he gets the MVP of the ALCS.
But I can tell you, every time that Manaea faces anybody in this league, he's the better person there. You know, there's very few guys who are worse than him when they're up there. Like, I'll give you Ohtani might be,
well, good pitching beats good hitting. Of course, Ohtani. Right. But even Ohtani, right? Even Ohtani is hitting 333, which means he fails 7 out of 10 times. It's a game of failure. Yep. So the pitcher is going to always have a little bit of an advantage.
Today's going to be about limiting damage and getting out of problems. That's the thing. This isn't going to be easy round. You're going to have to get out of situations, and that's what I think we've seen Manaea do time in and time again all year, especially down the stretch. Even when something happens, gets out of it. He's got to put away pitch now. It's just, he works the zone. He's not trying to skirt around people.
It's the arm angle. He tried to. He modeled it after Sale. His arm angle, and for some reason it just works for him. And
they told him you got the nastiest stuff. You just got to throw it in the zone. He started throwing it in the zone and new arm angle, and there you go. We got ourselves an ace. He's going to make a lot of money in this offseason. He said he's not trying to break the bank. He's just trying to provide for his family.
Why? Yeah, that's first of all, let's not even get there. But he should cash in on this, right? You break the bank. You try to break the bank. Why would he even say that? The Mets are going to give him a blank check. You have to, especially if he pitches well tonight. You have to give him a blank check
this year. Oh, this is the year. Nobody realizes what we were waiting for. Everybody's like, oh, maybe they're not spending all that money last year. They don't understand what's about to happen. And part of that might be purging. We might be purging.
Well, I think Alonso's gone. Because Vientos is going to play first base. Vientos is too good. Vientos is as good as Alonso, and he's making no money. You could give him $10 million a year, and you could shore him up for another 3 years. I don't think Alonso's coming back at all, period. Alonso's already had his moment. He's never going to buy a drink in the city again. He's good.
Yep. No, I listen, I'm all for it. But truthfully, we need more Alonso. We need more Lindor. We need him early to get on base. We need Nimmo to work at bats. We need these guys to come through with 2 outs. So we're in for it. You know what the big one is? We got to win one for Keith Hernandez's birthday today.
You know what else is today? Today's 15 year. I think it's however many years it is. Today is from the Game 7 that you were at. The catch. The Andy Chavez catch.
18 years.
18 years. 18 years. So somebody who was born on that day can now smoke cigarettes, right? Because they can vote. They can smoke cigarettes. Well, no, smoking cigarettes is 21.
No, but they don't even smoke cigarettes, Bob.
No, nobody smokes it. They're vaping. I'm vaping.
Yeah.
So
if you're a kid.
Now, what do you think about the walks, right? We're setting all-time records with these walks. Yeah. It's a disaster. We got basically they're scared of the lineup and they just walk everybody, right? Is that why we're walking, or they just can't?
That's why Manaea never became an elite pitcher, because he was pitching like that. And so if he gets back into that habit, all of a sudden, you know how that accumulates problems. Walk the leadoff guy in any given in a playoff game versus the best lineup in baseball. See how that works out for you. Because even when we were
leadoff guys Ohtani,
we were up by 8, 9 runs. As soon as they lead that leadoff guy, we did not feel good at all about that game. Isn't that amazing? Like how instantly the playoffs are just a different animal. You can't open up the door, and you can't have. It's an unforced error. It's like they're just unforced errors. There's something that it's up to you whether or not you put it in the zone. You have to allow that person to hit. Now, again, sometimes it's tough because the umpire squeezes you. So for a guy like Manaea, if he's not getting certain points, like that the ump's not giving him, and he has to go feed in, that's a tough game for him because guys like Ohtani and Betts are going to eat that a lot. So it's a little tough, man. It's easy to say, just pitch strikes, but you have to.
Any sport, favorite Game 6 moment? Or favorite Game 6? Any sport, favorite Game 6?
Any sport, favorite Game 6? God, it's so tough to say. There or not there? I mean, Bill Buckner
there or not there. Favorite game, because Game 6 is historically like a
favorite
wild,
moment
crazy
or the favorite Game 6 or favorite
Game 6. Favorite Game 6.
It's Bill Buckner. It's like what my whole life.
But you won't. It's not though. Like that's not mine. My favorite Game 6 is the David Freese in the World Series. Okay. Cardinals. I think that was the greatest, possibly the greatest baseball game I ever saw. They're down in the last strike, down 2 runs. He hits a double, and then he hits the home run. And they came back 3 times. That's my favorite. That's one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
I'm at your place waiting. We're getting ready to go to, I don't even know it. The first playoff game that we went to, I think.
Game 3.
Right. And I'm waiting, and your wife and Sarah comes out, and she's like, Bob tells me this whole freaking story about David Freese and the whatever, and I just sit there
it's so amazing.
for 20 minutes and tell the whole story, and she's like, you know what? I don't care. And I was dying. I tell the Andy Chavez catch like that. Like, I tell that to people, and I look over, and sometimes the audience is not who I tell. It'll be like a nurse, a girl
I don't care who you are. How can you not watch the highlights of that game and be like, oh my God? And the best part is they asked him to go into the Hall of Fame, the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and he refused, which is the greatest thing ever. He's like, thanks, but no thanks. I didn't do much. That's the only thing I did. How great is that?
Right, you bring him out for first pitches. You do whatever. When you talk about putting a jacket on a guy, like that's a lifelong. You have a bond.
Team
like, you didn't show up.
Fame thing.
No, because that could be. You know what the equivalent is, and say he was never a manager, because what happens this year is going to totally change all that. Aaron Boone. That's like putting Aaron Boone into the Monument Park.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You can't put Aaron Boone into it.
It's exactly what it is. It's ridiculous. No story of a franchise Cardinals are. You're not talking about the Rockies showing up and being like, all right, we got Helton. That's all we got out there. So we might as well squeeze somebody else in.
So, Brett, finish this sentence. The Mets win tonight if.
Sean Manaea pitches 7 innings.
Okay. I think the Mets win tonight if they get a lead early, if they score first. Score first. You can't because you can't fall behind 3-0 in the first inning. Then they start to panic. He might pull. Now let's say he gets in trouble in the first and second inning. They're down 1-0, second and third, 1 out. Does he start pulling? Does he think about pulling them? Because I think you got to kind of have. I know it's an elimination game, and you got to have a quick hook, and you can't go down.
I think you got to have a longer. How we got there.
I think you got to have more patience here. I think you got to have more patience here with this game because your bullpen stinks than you normally would in an elimination game. Because who are you going to bring in?
Yeah, no, definitely. And the thing is, it depends on how you get there. If it's just hard hit ball after hard hit ball, like there's times you see where the guys hit 3 doubles in a row.
Yeah, okay.
That's trouble. Like that spells trouble. Like you're hittable, something's wrong, you're not there. Walking people in, like that's a red flag. But if it's basic errors, stupid stuff that happens, he looks like he's still got it. You try and get what you can out of him. But I'm telling you, you do not let yourself get down 5-0 early in this game, because it's going to be trouble. Once they have a lead, they're going to pitch us the way we should be pitching them, and they're not going to walk anybody. They're not going to walk anybody, and we're going to have to hit our way into winning that. And let me tell you,
you can't hit your way into winning this game. You're going to have to score runs, because even a great pitcher, you're going to give 3-4 runs. Who are we talking about at the end of the game? What's the name we're bringing up the most at the end of the game? 11 o'clock tonight.
Mark Vientos.
Okay.
The name that we should be talking about, that we're going to be talking about for years and years and years. There's a point I'm going to show you something I posted early in the year, and it says that Mark Vientos, I think we even talked about it, will one day be the most prolific offensive player in Mets history.
He's got a lot of playoff records. It
has nothing to do with this playoffs this year, and you'll even look back. I said this stuff back in as soon as he got called up, I was like, there's just something about him. I just think it's going to happen. And just watch with this guy. He's going to be big time, big average, big RBIs, home runs, the whole deal.
Now I got on the screen right here, Brett, and to me it's a little fishy. The line. I feel like the Dodgers should be a bigger favorite.
That's fine, but that's the line the whole series. That's what it's been. That's a home team. When you're the home team,
well, I think they should be like that plus 175.
You have Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Max
I'm sorry, minus
now,
175. Minus 175. I think they should be minus 175.
I'm sorry, but this,
why is it not? Let me ask you this: why is it not? Why are the two numbers not the same? Because they're just jerking you around. They're jerking the gambler around, right?
That's not even bad at all. Go look at like what it is to go to extra innings tonight. It's like plus 2,000, and it's like minus 10,000.
Yeah, I know. And the cash outs they screw you too. All right, so Brett, that's pretty much it. We're gonna come on after. We're gonna come on after the game. Or are you gonna be watching the Jets? Jets gonna win tonight?
I got the Jets game tonight. Okay. And my you know what my biggest issue is that the sports gods will never let the Mets and Jets have
watching the Liberty. You keep
totally happy.
Liberty?
Like there's never. Do you know there's never a day in the history of time where we woke up on a Monday morning and we were happy, fully happy. Like we've been half happy, we've been kind of happy, but like
it's not even Monday off. I have Monday off. I'm gonna be happy. I just worked 4 straight doubles. 16 hours.
Listen, let me tell you,
I've slept like 3 hours in the last week, Brett. I worked 18 hours, went to the game, and then went right to work.
That was rough. That was rough. No. It looks like I'm gonna have to watch games. If the Mets win, which I can't wait, and I'm hoping this is my problem. I'm gonna be watching Game 7 from the jail in my office, which is my worst nightmare. But I'll take it. I don't even care. It just sucks.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're watching it from jail.
No. I'm happy to. I'm glad I get to. So you know what? I'm that's fine. That's
all right,
perfectly
Brett.
fine with me.
What about that one? Did the Jets win? And quickly on the Jets.
Oh no, Jets win by 20.
Jets never go into Pittsburgh and win.
No. Things happen tonight. Hassan Reddick's coming back Monday morning. Monday? No.
Things happening is not
no. We are going to skirt our way into the playoffs, and I don't know what's going to happen from there.
So you're going to be a Mets? They're going to be the Mets?
Like the Mets happened this year. Bob, you don't understand. This is different. This is different. Bob, the whole vibe is different. The whole thing. The Mets have changed. Those 10 days for the Mets back at the end of the season that propelled them into the playoffs.
They were in the middle of that now?
It changed the entire axis of this franchise. And let me tell you, things are going to be different for the next 20 years, Bob. We lived with 43 years. I'll give you this. Let's say 35 years of agony because they were pretty good in the middle of the 80s.
The Knicks, yeah.
It's over now. No,
the Jets. You mean the Jets?
It's over now.
Oh, the Mets.
The Mets. It's over.
You know what the craziest thing is? We were all saying the Mets are 5 or 6 wins away from Uncle Steve's promise of 5 years coming true.
I know.
Like we all were yelling at, what are you saying? 5 years? What a championship? We were laughing at it. We were laughing, crying. We were angry at it last year.
Let me tell you. We're one win away from really scaring the crap out of the Dodgers.
Yeah,
put it that way. We are one win tonight from scaring the Dodgers really bad. And the Mets having so much confidence going into Game 7. Let me tell you, don't let the Mets win tonight. Don't let them win.
You know how you know they're scared? Because they're throwing a bullpen game. They're saving their best. They're not like, let's go win this thing tonight and get it over with. They're like, we might lose this game. We got to save things for Game 7. So I think the Mets win tonight. I think the Mets win tonight 7-4. I'm going to pick it as a correct score on FanDuel. 7-4 Mets. I think Marte gets the hit, the big hit. I think we're talking about him and Manaea. And I think we have a game tomorrow, Game 7, to solidify a Subway Series, the second in our lifetime. So enjoy the game, everybody. Sit back, relax. There's nothing we can do now. It's just let it play out, see what happens. And hopefully, let's go Mets. Brett?
Let's go Mets.
All right, for Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. Thanks for watching, everybody. From the Brian Gunzel Studios, see ya. Hold on, bro. I'm going to play something for these guys. I got something to play for these guys.
Oh, what do you got?
I got something here.
Watch an interview with Phil.
No, that's not it. Damn it. Hold on. That's not it. Never mind. For Brett Grasso, I'm Bob Walters. See ya.